Well, it's that time again. I did not expect this to happen so soon, but just about 10 months since I received my Malazan Book of the Fallen Special Editions by Broken Binding, I got the next 3 books. And so, on this Christmas day, I'm going to open my presents. And this video is just going to be me going, oh wow, look, this looks so cool, and talking about all the different images and pictures and stuff. So, I have the box, my Malazan Box of the Fallen. It's a bit different than the last one. The last one was a much smaller box that was like designed and said like Malazan. I think it literally said Box of the Fallen on it. This one's a bit bigger. I think it's just a more general Broken Binding book. You can sort of hear the books or feel the books sliding around inside. I haven't opened it yet. Hopefully the video is going to turn out all right. I kind of shrunk the camera down. We'll see what gets caught and what doesn't get caught. But whew, okay, so this is some intense packaging. It looks like, I don't know how the books could have been sliding around, but I don't know if you can see, we've got this weird sort of honeycomb packaging, and then of course some lovely bubble wrap on the sides. This feels really cool. It's like a ghillie suit or something. So this is one of our books. This is some intense packaging, but I imagine it keeps our special editions very, very safe. There's another one. Oh my word, these books seem massive. I mean, they are very big books. All 10 of them. And here's a third one. All right, let's get this box out of the way. Okay, where do we start? Now, I believe, unless I got the order mixed up, this is our first one. So let us unwrap this gift here. This is very interesting, sort of. I'm sure that's, oh, and look, more bubble wrap, just in case it wasn't totally safe. Oh, and it's also wrapped in more wrapping paper. So this is the only present I open this day. It's still going to be a wonderful present. So I haven't looked at any other videos or seen any images of these. I did see the mock-ups of some of the art, but I haven't seen the actual books themselves. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is book 6. This was the last one I should have opened. Just wow. I'm going to go back and look at book 4 and 5 before I go through this one in specific. But oh, this just look at this scene. Chapter 7, right, of Bone Hunters. I think it's chapter 7, the one that's like 200 pages long. It's not that long, but the siege of Egatan, the burning of Egatan. Look at Tavor. That has to be Tavor standing there. Just as a great look for Tavor. Wow. Show me a god that does not demand mortal suffering. Show me a God that celebrates diversity, a celebration that embraces even non-believers and is not threatened by them. Show me a God that understands the meaning of peace in life, not in death. Fantastic quote they have on the back there. Look at the size of this one. Book 6, the Malazan Book of the Fallen. We will get into book 6, but we'll set it aside. Oh, look at the art here. We've got a giant dragon. Perhaps a Silchas ruin, maybe, and then some kind of he does look kind of green-skinned, but we'll say a gray-skinned warrior covered in coins, surrounded by more sort of heist-looking, it's Roulette Sangar and the Taistadur. Anyways, let me find book 4. I found book 5. Oops. Wow, Midnight Tides. I think this is a different art. I don't recognize this artwork. Lots of dragons. Very cool. Now, which dragons in particular, I don't know. Looks like dragons on a battlefield. I can't speak to this one specifically. I can't think of many dragons actually in Midnight Tides. Destiny is a lie. Destiny is just justification for atrocity. It is the means by which murderers armor themselves against reprimand. It is a word intended to stand in place of ethics, denying all moral context. Scathing review of the idea of destiny or fate. Again, there's the sort of continuation of the Adur and the dragon. Incredible. Again, it's book 5, so presumably we have book 4. Book 5 looks a lot smaller, like shorter in length. Book 6, Bone Hunters, looks huge. Just looking from these sort of what are these, the book club edition, the Tor ones. I guess Midnight Tides does look significantly smaller than Bone Hunters. I don't think of Bone Hunters as being that long. Maybe it's that Siege of Egatan that takes up so much time. All right, here we go. We found them in the correct order. We've got House of Chains. by Steven Erikson. Yeah, obviously. I love the color on this one, the blues and purples and reds and the transition between them. It is very striking, but I do sort of have, I don't know, problems with the scene. The scene itself, I don't know what scene this is. I I mean, it looks like we have the rope, Cotillion himself, and some like Teist Andy mages. I've read this book multiple times. I cannot tell you what scene this is. One day, perhaps, you will see for yourself that regrets are as nothing. The value lies in how they are answered. That's a very famous quote. Very wonderful quote about regret. Wow. Okay, should we crack this open or should we compare? Maybe we'll compare all three of them. These are very, very big books. So see if I can like get this in shot, but we have a very strong looking Teblor Toblekai guy. Wonder who that could be. And again, a Teistadir army, it looks like, with a big white dragon there. Could be anyone, probably Silchest Ruin. Very cool. And of course, this is a continuation of the scene from the first three books, which I can do a side-by-side comparison once we get through all these. These are very heavy, big books. So House of Chains, yeah. So I love the color, but again, the scene, I mean, it looks cool, but it's not something that I'm like, oh yes, remember that part of House of Chains when that thing happens? Like, honestly, a lot of these, the Bone Hunters one is on another level. Like, okay, we'll get to it. I'm getting too excited. Whew, okay, whoa. So our first end paper. Let me just take off the dust jacket. I believe this is the Mark Simonetti art. So of course we've got little Torvald Gnome and Akarsa Orlong. Very, very cool. I mean, these just look beautiful without the dust jackets. Like, I just imagine, I mean, I can't imagine someone like reading this on the subway or whatever, but like it's going into a coffee shop and seeing someone read this, you'd be like, wow, what is that book? But our first end paper is just incredible. Look at this. We've got here, wow. It's got to be Korobas. It has to be Korobas, right? The Otadriel dragon, chained up and crucified in the Imperial Warren, I believe. And I can't remember who it is that goes and visits the dragon. Maybe Quick Ben, but I don't think it was Quick Ben. But that is a stunning art piece. Is that the end of the book? No, the end of the book is different. Oh, the end of the, whoa, okay. Okay, we're not going to do spoilers, but I will show you the image. It will mean nothing to you. It's just someone, maybe like a young woman or a girl that's been stabbed through the heart with a sword that's kind of like red, maybe an Otadriel sword, who knows, and lies dying in the sands. And isn't that just a powerful image? The background, the sort of the brush strokes of the colors of the sand, lots of ochre in there. And like, if you know, you know. We'll put it that way. Yeah, sort of the. Oh, and I'm just picking up. Oh my word! Wow, I just noticed the. Wow, that's some powerful stuff. If you look in the sort of the face covering of this soldier, there is a reflection of the one stabbing and killing this character, and I mean, there it is. Like, what a scene. I didn't notice that right away, but that makes it even more impactful. That's an amazing piece of art. Yeah, that's something you could put on your wall. I wonder if the names of the artists are in here, because I don't recall off the top of my head. All right, so I believe Mr. Erikson himself has stopped signing, but this is sort of signed in a golden ink. Now I believe this is auto pen, which is like a controversial topic nowadays, but it's cool that, you know, his signature's in there. I was never like, I don't really care about the signature that much, because like, of course I never met the guy. He lives on the other side of the continent from me, but like if I did bump into him and get him, hey, can you sign my Crackspot Trail copy? Like, that would be really cool, and I'd love that. But the first three I have are signed, like actually signed by hand by him, and I mean, it's cool, but it's not something I care that much about. So us sort of losing that doesn't make a big deal. I mean, this still looks really cool, having his sort of signature in gold on here, even if it's not real, whatever that means. And the gold, even the gold in the title of the book is really, really cool. It looks very lush, very, very stylish. Okay, so we have some more images, some that I haven't seen before. Oh wow, that one's really cool. So we have a Tobelkai Karsa Orlong on his Havoc, his Jag horse, with his massive stone sword. And here we have a Troll Sangar by the looks of it, with his mark on his forehead, his shaven pate. He might have been scalped, actually. Wielding a spear, of course. Good old Troll. Oh, and yet another one. Oh, wow. Is this... I wonder... I mean, this kind of could be anyone. We have an older sort of soldier with, like, very flowing locks. Now, the glowing eyes give me sort of Teist vibes, along with the sort of large sword. So I kind of get Animander Rake vibes, although the beard, I don't think Animander had a beard, so... Like, to me, this could be maybe be Draconis, but I'm trying to think of the characters in this actual book to sort of guess who this could be. Nothing's really jumping out to me, but it sort of does look otherworldly with those glowing eyes. An elder god of some sort. I can't think of who it could be, but it's still pretty cool. Just looking through the Dramatis Personae to see if I can figure it out. Maybe Traveler? Although it doesn't really give me Traveler vibes, if you know what I mean. Other than that, I really don't know who this could be. Oh, and it looks like we have a little something else here at the back of this book. Something that folds out. Oh my goodness. Whoa, okay. This is something really cool. See, now I have to show you it, and I'm just like reacting to it. Jack Shepherd. I wonder if this is the same tall shepherd that created the mixture of maps that we got in the last special edition, which I have on my wall over there. This is a map, the imagined world of the Malazan Empire and its constituent parts and players. Stephen Erickson. Now I believe, not just Stephen Erickson, but I believe Ian C. Esselmont was consulted for the creation of this. A most comprehensive visualization of the lands of the Malazan world and other charted environs since discovered. So this is sort of huge because we have never had a full world map of the Malazan world. We've only had continents or parts of continents. So the fact that we get this officially and sort of stamped with the creator's approval is a big deal. So there are sort of recreations online that I've found myself going to a lot, but to have this actual map, which, okay, I'll show you, and then because I really just want to look at it myself, but a sort of fold out map of the world with lots of the gold really stands out and makes it look very pristine and very, very nice. So it says on the side here, now these ashes have grown cold, we open the old book. These oil-stained pages recount the tales of the fallen. A frayed empire, words without warmth. The hearth has ebbed, its gleam and life's spark are but memories against dimming eyes. What casts my mind, what hue my thoughts, as I open the book of the fallen and breathe deep the scent of history. Listen, then, to these words carried on that breath. These tales are the tales of us all. Again, yet again. We are history relived, and that is all. Without end, that is all. So that's the opening of Gardens of the Moon, of the whole Book of the Fallen that they put in this map. And so yeah, the design and the detail of this map is fantastic. And even the color, I mean, it's in full color. Wow, okay, so what do we have? We've got Bale and the Assail lands, which are just south of Genabacus, or Genabacus. Genostel to the east there, and then Umrig, which I don't recognize Umrig at all. And then further east we have the sort of western coast of the lands that Seven Cities is the sort of eastern archipelago of. And then, of course, south of Seven Cities, we have Falar, and then Quantali. Further south, Malaz Isle. South of Malaz, we have Fist and Coral and Stratum, which I believe was correct. Also south of Quantali, and a bit west of Fist and Stratum, we have Jakaruku, of course. And then further west of that, we have Calance and Lether. So Calance and Lether look different a bit on this map. It doesn't look as sort of stretched out. I guess there's the glass desert. Lether does look different to me. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, maps are different. And then we also have uncharted lands surrounded by what look like ice flows to the south of Lether and Bale. So this all sort of checks out. Of course, it's a globe, so going east from Quantali, we're going to hit Genabacus, which makes sense. So this all sort of matches up with what we've known of the world so far. I guess there's quite a bit of sort of ice flows, and they're all really broken up. I mean, the jagged Amtos Flak has failed. But this is just a beautiful map. Holy cow. I kind of wish it wasn't attached to the book, because it being attached in the book means it's always going to stay in the book, and I'm not really ever going to get to see it. I'd love to frame it and have it on my wall. I could cut it out, but that sounds blasphemous. That is gorgeous. Okay, so 2 hours into the video, they finished looking at the first book. So that's House of Chains, book number 4. I'm gonna have to reorganize my whole bookshelf to fit these all together. There is our House of Chains. Lines up well with the first 3 so far. All right, let's go into book 5, Midnight Tides. One of my favorite books. It's a new setting, totally fresh, and also hilarious. Some of the best characters in the, well, I mean, I could say that about any of the books, but great characters in this one. So let's take off this dusk jacket, take a look at it. All right, what do we have? Oh, of course. Again, the Simonetti art. We've got Bug into Hole just hanging out on the rooftop of their little house in Lether. Look at that. It is quite dark, kind of hard to make out, but it is a beautiful art piece. Just a wonderful little smirk on Tahol's face, which you can't really make out on this print, but still very cool. I mean, I'm still going to keep the dust jackets on mine, so I'll probably never see these, but very neat. All right, let's look at our end papers. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen this artwork before. Wow. So instead of me just reacting, I will show you. It looks like we have a Rulad Sanger and the Taistadur, and it looks like this is the moment when he sort of takes over as the emperor, perhaps, or maybe this is one of the contests that he wins, but it looks like there's a number of figures bowing to him, and then one figure standing tall, wielding a spear, looking around, not kneeling. Troll. He has that sword that the crippled god gave him. It's a very cool scene. A great composition with the lighting, and that has to be Troll sort of looking at I imagine his brothers and his family who are bowing to this upstart younger brother, and that must be the warlock king there on this side. Very cool. On the back we have, whoa, that's amazing. All right, look at this. That's an amazing piece of art. Look at the color and the light, and I gotta look at it again to sort of describe it more, but wow. So we've got, looks like 5 characters, and then just a swirl of destruction and death around them. Now, I can't think to my mind what this would be, unless this is sort of a group of Taists performing a massive chaotic ritual, which they were known to do, but they don't really look Taist to me. There's a one woman, and it looks like 3 male characters. Oh, I gotta read these books again, huh? I love the colors and sort of the galactic swirl there, but especially the colors, the bright, hot oranges and yellows, and compared to the sort of the darker, cooler colors in the background. That is an amazing piece of art. I wish I knew the name of these artists, and I also wish I knew what specifically the scene was. Trying to think of Midnight Tides when there's any sort of magic. Like, I would guess this is a Malazan. They're wearing like red sort of leathers, but I don't think there's many Malazans in this book at all. That is so cool. I love that. Oh, it looks like we have another fold out here. Oh, we again get a copy of the map. So I don't know if it's in every book now, which is kind of cool. Again, I do wish it just like had serrated edges and could just sort of rip it out of this and put it on the wall. But very cool that is in presumably all 3 of these. Again, it's got the golden sort of auto pen signature of the author himself. All right, so we have another one of these character portraits. I'm gonna guess this one's still Chess Ruin. The face doesn't really give me Teist Andy vibes. It just sort of looks like a human, but long white hair, and the 2 swords, and specifically the crows in the background. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like Bryce or something. I don't know if Silchas even shows up in this book, but that would be my first guess. But it could be one of the Benedict brothers. Oh my word, I feel my lack of knowledge failing me. I mean, of course, we've got here Rulad on the right, left. But this one here, it seems like a character surrounded by giants. So this, I'm thinking this is Bryce, but I can't think of when Bryce dealt with giants. I don't know why I don't remember giants at all. I don't know who these are. It is pretty cool though. I have only read these twice, and it's been a number of years since I've read these. Maybe Iron Bars. I don't really give Iron Bars vibes, that first one with the crows. Anyways, Midnight Tides, I clearly need to reread it because I'm forgetting a lot. Another gorgeous addition to my collection. I love that back end paper with the incredible piece of art. I'm gonna have to look up like, what are all these scenes? Just amazing. So that's Midnight Tides. Again, this scene, I don't know. I love how, I'm not sure if we can see up here, but I love the different colors. We sort of got more of a red, orange, a green, sort of a blue, gray, and then the purple, red, blue, and then again more of an sort of an orange, almost a dusty pink. Very distinctive, and yet all sort of matching, which that's sort of the whole point of these, is we're getting an actual matching set of the Malazan Book of the Fallen. All right, so now this gorgeous Bone Hunters. I mean, what an incredible image. Just the sort of downcast look on Tavor's face. Okay, let's take this off. I'm trying to think of what the Simonetti version is that's going to be on here. So what do we got? I'll show it like this because it's the same as on the back. Oh, right, of course. Post Yucatan, with down in the corner here, the people crawling out of the bones of that city. Bone Hunters in Truth. Again, kind of very dark and hard to make out on this sort of black cover, but and also sort of a weird, I don't know if composition is the word, but the fact that sort of it kind of looks like a real mess. We've got some fire up here, and then the character themselves way down here. It's weird that it sort of draws your eye to the corner and to the upper top, and then I guess there is a character in the central area, but they really blend in. It could just be the darkness on this printing. Anyways, let's take a look at our end papers. Ooh, another one that I don't, I've never seen before. So this looks like, I gotta think, what book is this? Bone Hunters? Oh, see, I'm failing, but this is an amazing artwork. We've got an army of Tlanamass emerging from an ocean, a sea, some water. They are looking awfully skeletal, although their spears are clearly iron, and they're wearing iron, which that's not very Tlanamass, is it? And then over here we've got two horses. It's sort of a very like John Fantasy character here that I can't think of, and then it looks like a partially naked woman character, very sort of feral looking. I'm really embarrassed that I can't figure out who these are or what scene this is meant to be, but it looks really cool. I mean, look at the lightning that almost looks like cracks through the clouds, and this sort of this red mist. That's cool. I'm gonna have to look up what scene this is in Bone Hunters. It's funny, there's like very big iconic scenes, but there's also so much smaller set pieces that are just as important and just as impactful. I mean, everything in the Book of the Fallen means something or has importance. But okay, let's see what the next one is. Okay, this one we know this one. Look at this, the a very different style. The lighting and sort of the back glow of these characters really makes everything pop and stand out. So this is, of course, Corporal Callum taking down hand after hand of claw mage assassins in the streets of Malaz City. I don't think that's a spoiler. Maybe it is, but the gashes on his leg and the sort of the shadowy figures of these people leaping for him, and the daggers drawn, and Callum just being an absolute, just like bulky, big, huge, just dude, just taking them out, just blood spurting out, the fire in the background. That's an amazing scene. Now personally, I really like when Apsalar does the and okay, we're not talking about spoilers, but this is an amazing scene. Let me just take it all in. Oh yeah, so the gash is on that guy's head, bleeding out of his head, and yeah, how many actual claw do we see? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do see 4, so it is like a sort of a full hand. I assume the 5th's dead somewhere previous to this. That is a great piece of art for Kalam. That is Kalam. Wow. So that's cool. And let's just check and see if it has the same map again. It does. Beautiful. Very beautiful map. The colors is sort of the, not a cyan, but like maybe a cyan teal, sort of a very pale red or a deep rose. I'm not an artist, but with the gold, very, very beautifully done. Oh, and I didn't really notice the sort of Malazan imperial sigil here, sort of the shield with the claw holding the orb. Very neat. I don't know how I feel about the cross. I've seen quite a lot of sort of Malazan flags and sort of fan art and stuff. And people, whenever they see flags or insignias or whatnot, they always put crosses on them because, you know, in medieval European fantasy, everything has crosses on it. But of course, there wouldn't be crosses in this world. Unless it's post Deadhouse Gates and they are worshippers of the Crow cult, then they might have crosses, but I don't think the Malazan Empire had crosses on stuff. That's not a nitpick, that's just me being petty. So again, signed by the author. Now let's see which characters are represented here that I do not recognize. Yikes. Oh, interesting. So we have, it looks to be some sort of a some sort of a woman character. So my first thought is Tavor. I always imagine Tavor as having short hair. So let's say that's Tavor, and of course this guy here got a couple of flails. It's got to be Leomund of the Flails. An important character if you're currently reading No Life Forsaken. And our third character is, oh, I wonder who these shadowy figures are. We have some sort of a shadow sitting on a throne. I don't know who that could be. And then some sort of a master assassin sidekick of his. Sidekick? He probably doesn't like being called a sidekick. And then a Hound of Shadow, although that hound's kind of scraggly looking. I think a hound would be a bit beefier if it's a Hound of Shadow. That's a pretty cool image. So I think that's it. I'm surprised the font size. The font size is pretty big for this sort of a book like this. I mean, I guess that's why they're so big. But all right, let's pack this one up. Stick it on the shelf, see what they all look like. That is a very big book. All right, so brought it up a bit so you can sort of see a bit better. I mean, that's fantastic in my opinion. We're close. 6 down, 4 to go. Still very mismatched. We've got the 3 original Bantams and then the book club edition of Reaper's Gale, but we'll get there. The next batch, I believe, is, again, we've had 3 and 3. I believe it's the next 3. So Reaper's Gale through to Dust of Dreams, which is kind of strange. You think they do 2 and 2, but I heard a rumor they're going to do 3, and then Crippled God might be added in with Forge of Darkness, Fall of Light, which could be cool, but also it would be not cool because we don't really have Walking Shadow yet, so we'd still be missing one out. Anyways, we're getting there. It will be lovely to have all 10 of these books. I imagine it will take up this whole shelf, which will look very nice. So let's flip them around and look at the sort of the ends of the pages. And there we have, I'm not sure how well you can see, but the 2 sort of scenes so far, which are sort of one scene. The only sort of continuation is the tale of the Skitchange here. I do notice it looks a lot darker here, and this looks a bit lighter. That's fine. I mean, I'm not going to display them like this, but we have these 2 armies, presumably a Malazan army maybe, although they look quite heavily armored, but they could be just that type of infantry. And a Taista Dur army here led by Rulad. I can't remember who this guy on the horse is. We've got the Taist Andy up here with Enamander Rake. We've got the Change of Mao, Moon Spawn, and the Great Ravens, and then this dragon, presumably Silchas Ruin. And of course, Karsa Orlong there. A really cool composition to see sort of all of these major important characters and peoples in one thing. I can't wait to see how it continues on. I am noticing here, and I'm not sure if you can notice it, but because these are such heavy books, the pages are being pulled down. So like there's like a big U shape here and here and here and here from the pages themselves, bringing down and setting on the ground because the covers are, or the pages are sitting up a bit higher, so they're kind of falling there. See if I push back, they sort of pick back up. Just from the sheer weight of themselves, but yeah. Oh, can you see my ring, my bridge burner ring? Yeah, I saw a post online of someone that cut strips of cardboard and slid it underneath to sort of hold these up. But you should probably not do that with just regular cardboard. You should use some kind of an acid-free material. I don't know if I'm not sure if I'll do that. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'll ever actually read these editions. I might. I like to sort of take a book with me. Like any book that I'm reading, I'll take it with me when I'm going somewhere to work or school or whatnot. So I would never ever take these outside of the house. But if it's something that I'm just sitting at home reading, then yeah, I would use these actual editions to read. I mean, they're not like the Subterranean Press, which are like $1,000 editions that you lock in a case and never touch. But a very affordable price. I did have to pay like $50 in duties and tariffs and taxes and whatnot on top of the original $250 it costs to buy them. But I think $100 for each of these books is worth it if you're someone like myself. So there we have it, the 3 latest books of the Broken Binding editions of the Malazan Book of the Fallen. A wonderful Christmas gift from myself to myself. Especially love how the Bone Hunters one came out. That dust jacket is amazing. Some of the end cover art was incredible. I have to look up what scenes those were, specifically like the one in Midnight Tides. And also the map on the back. I mean, I'm a huge map fan. I could literally stare at maps all day, and sometimes I do. So that was gorgeous, and it's kind of weird that it's in all 3 books. I wish it would have just been printed on its own and added in with these books so that I could put it on my wall. But because there are 3 copies, maybe I will get crazy and actually cut it out and put it on a wall. Just to have I think I'm going to have to do that. I'm sort of talking myself into it because just having a sort of a global map of the Malazan world. But yeah, that's that. Thank you for joining me on my gift opening on this wonderful Christmas morning.